Rogue Tier, we still winning. Magic Card, oh, we extending. Dark Law, he still contending. Sunrise, your lights in it. Yugi peoples, welcome to the commentary. These are, a couple of my duels from last week. This first duel is, pretty crazy. This is one of those decks that it kind of sucks to let go first. And, one of the biggest weaknesses to playing a going second deck is, decks that have the ability to put up, effective monsters and spells and traps at the same time. Because then it's like I have to draw, a spell and trap, board clear, like Lightning Storm or Feather Duster. And I have to draw something to deal with their monsters. So, this is PK going off, I guess, as you see, he's got that Spriggan spell card there. He didn't draw, the other part of his engine that he really needed to pop off. But, he said it was a bad hand, in which I feel like the hand was okay. Because I believe Torn Scales is just like a one-card combo for this deck, right? So he's got the Torn Scales, and he's just going to start doing PK stuff. And, at the end of it, he ends up with 3 back rows, no bluffs. So trying to OTK through something like that is that's pretty much not gonna happen. You see, he goes and gets the second Fog Blade there. He's got the Break Sword effect to bring those back as level 4s, and he goes to bring out this guy who is I guess a double Book of Moon, and he goes to set another back row. I know one of them is also Fog Blade. I guess and I drew only one going second card, but it's only basically gonna stop that monster that he has on the board. So now I'm trying to figure out in my hand how to play through 2 Fog Blades. So down comes Vion. Of course, that's gonna get Fog Bladed before it can do anything effective. He just immediately flips that up, and I decide here, like I said, I do have Droplet. But I decide here that I'm not going to necessarily need Vion's effect to win this game. Also because I do believe I need to do a better job of showing my hand, but I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that I had Polymerization in my hand, but I'm not sure. So we're going to go ahead and Branded Fusion here. We're going to send the Tragedy and the Fallen of Albaz to bring out Lebellion, discarding the Shadow Mist. He's going to do the Fog Blade. I'm going to go ahead and chain Droplet here so that I can get the Lebellion off the board, negate the Nightmare, and he can't chain its effect. So we're going to go ahead and resolve chains here. I'm going to use Lebellion's effect to bring out Albion, and then go ahead and get my Tragedy's effect to go ahead and add that boy Dramaturge to my hand. And then I believe on a new chain, I am going to get my Shadow Mist effect to go ahead and add my Liquid Soldier. I'm going to go, he's going to just start, detaching materials here just because he can. So I'm going to add my Liquid Soldier off of my Shadow Mist effect. And then I'm going to use Albion's effect to banish the Shadow Mist and the Liquid Soldier to bring out our boy Sunrise, of course. Sunrise hits the board. Chain Link 1, Graceful Charity. Chain Link 2, Sunrise. So we're going to go ahead and add that Miracle Fusion. You got to make sure that you don't draw it off of the Graceful Charity effect. He goes ahead and detach another material there. He just wants his PK stuff in the graveyard before, anything crazy happens, I suppose. And he's going to give me the good cut. I'm going to draw 2 and then discard 1. And we're going to throw away the Droplet because I feel like, hey, I should be able to win at this point. But the surprises are not over. He still has that other back row there, and since he hadn't activated it yet, I don't know, just kind of consider thinking what it was. I thought maybe it was another Fog Blade, but he didn't flip it up or anything like that. So, now I'm just trying to figure out what it is, trying to figure out if I should commit more to the board. We're going to go ahead and Polymerization there using the Dramaturge and the Vion. I'm going to bring out my Masquerade Dragon, and I'm going to activate Dramaturge's effect to bring him back to the board. And now like hoping that that back row is kind of dead since he hasn't activated it this whole time. We're going to go into the battle phase, start off attacking with the Masquerade Dragon into his Nightmare. You know, he's kind of thinking, which lets me know that now that back row is not a bluff. He's checking effects to see which one is the most effective, which ones do the most. And it turned out to be Super Poly. So yeah, I got Super Poly for my Dramaturge and my Masquerade Dragon, and he's gonna bring out the Draco Stapelia. And yeah, that thing has a negate on it. So, you know, my Sunrise is kind of down here. My Albion drops all the way back down. Neither one of them are going to be strong enough to kill that Predaplant monster. So, yeah, that kind of sucks right there. We're going to go ahead and then declare an attack Albion into the Predaplant monster. He goes ahead and uses this effect to negate the effect of my Sunrise. But, you know, I knew he was going to do that. But that's so that I can set my Branded in red. He's going to go ahead and activate the effect of one of the trap cards to try to special summon out the Break Sword. I chain Call by the Grave to negate the Break Sword, but since he activated one of those effects, he gets to summon the Phantom Knight. But you know, like, so like the problem here is I need to get rid of both the Rusty and the PK monster. I was checking to make sure if it changed the level. Was it changed the level? No, it was something. I was trying to see how long it lasted, if it was like permanent or till the end of the turn. So we're gonna bring out the Masquerade Dragon because he has the Draco Stapelia on the board, and we're going to special summon out the Masquerade Dragon, like I said, because he has the Predaplant on the board, so that we can get rid of the Rusty and the Torn Scales. So at the end phase, oh, that shuffle back off inside of there was like I realized I didn't resolve Lubellion's effect by putting the monsters back where they were supposed to be. So yeah, we put those into the deck. At the end phase, we're going to go ahead and get Albion's effect to add that Branded in red to my hand. We're going to go ahead and set it and pass turn here. And, you know, I'm thinking that the game is probably still pretty much over. He has like a million graveyard effects. And with the Predaplant on the board, he has the ability to negate any of my card monster effects that I would bring out with Brandon and Red. But then also forgot that the Torrent Scales ended up getting banished because he brought it back with its effect and it ended up dying as a result of battle. So we're going to go into battle phase. He's going to attack into the Masquerade Dragon with the Predaplant. I'm going to go ahead and activate the Brandon in red because there's, you know, if I want to save the monster, there's no choice but to. We're going to go ahead and use all three of the monsters that I have to bring out our Guardian Chimera. And, you know, it has, since I have Polymerization in the graveyard, he's not able to target it with card effects. We're going to pop the Draco Stapelia and the Nightmare, bring out the Dramaturge, and we are going to be able to win this game somehow. You know, we didn't get the OTK, but, you know, somehow we ended up getting it through double Fog Blade Super Poly and then Draco Stapelia. Yeah, so it was a very tough match to win, but we ended up getting it in the end. And going into game 2 here, he's going to go ahead and decide to go first. And this is where I find out how terrifying, you know, some of the other cards were inside his deck. So, of course, it ended up having to be Tearlaments. He's going to get some crazy stuff going here. That Spriggan spell card that allows him to fusion summon by sending one from his hand and sending one of the, you know, monsters from the extra deck. So he's going to get their graveyard effects to start doing stuff, and he's going to bring out the other, you know, fusion guy. And like, yeah, stuff just really starts popping off, and he sets up like a pretty crazy board. You know, you're going to see him go search the Reinhardt there, and I believe that's his name, Reinhardt, and he's got the field spell also, so he can go add any other Tearlaments monster that he wants. He adds that one right there. Don't ask me what their names are. Like, yeah, I don't know. I know one of them's like Merrily, and then he summons this one, and like, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what that card was. It's not a Tearlament card or anything like that, but it has some crazy stuff where like I think like at the end it ended up like, or during the end of my turn it like ended up returning to his hand or something like that. It was crazy. He ended up like getting that back. He got that spell card back. What was it, branded in high spirits? He ended up getting that back, and yeah, I was just like, okay, that's too much going on. So now he's got out the one to negate spells and traps that can special summon monsters. He's going to go ahead and get all the mill effects here, and he hits 2 other PK cards. So he's got the Ragged Gloves now, and also the Torn Scales, along with some other Tearlaments stuff. He hit the Trap, so he's going to be able to add whatever he wants. And, you know, just like looking at the going over the commentary for this duel and stuff, you know, I just realized how bad and it is like going second. So I really don't think like going second this upcoming format is going to be very good. Just all the new branded stuff, you know, the new bestial stuff, like that stuff actually kind of hurts the hero engine part of this deck. I think I ended up losing the game because I didn't get a lot of dark heroes into my graveyard, and he banished the Shadow Mist when I tried to go into Albion's effect, and yeah, it just I don't think that going second is going to work out this format. There's just too many good back row and, you know, monsters, and it's just like too much to try to clear both, to try to effectively draw cards to be able to deal with both of them every game. So yeah, I think that might be the end for my going second version of branded heroes. So he's gonna go, as you see, he's got Rusty, he's got the Tearlaments monster, now he's also got a Abyss Dweller, and you know, things just aren't looking the best for me. I keep reading this card because I want to like see what all it negates like sometimes, and I was trying to see like how many times it comes back to the board, because I know it comes back if it's sent by card effect or something like that. And yeah, I'm just checking on that. So now out comes the Torn Scales. Here comes the PK part of the engine. He's gonna go ahead and do, you know, break sword play. Go ahead and do that. Go to the Torn Scales, Ragged Gloves. Go ahead and rank for those boys. And then in the midst of doing that, we realized that, or well, he realized that I had put his fusion monster in the wrong zone. It was in the middle. So go ahead and corrected that. So now he set up a pretty formidable board. He's got this thing that basically negates like any of my spells, like polymerization, branded, like, and he's also got a Abyss Dweller, and he's also got this Nightmare along with 3 back row cards. And yeah, that's just yeah, I don't know what to do here. So I go into draw phase, and of course he's going to try to activate the effect, but I'm going to use player priority. I'm gonna go ahead and super poly together that monster and the Abyss Dweller, because I kind of need my graveyard effects like Tragedy and Shadow Mist in order to kind of, you know, get stuff going. We're gonna bring out the Mud Dragon. We are going to change his typing to dark, but we also drew the Feather Duster, so we're gonna Feather Dust all his stuff away. But unfortunately, we didn't draw anything to really be able to effectively out the rest of his board. So he's got the double Book of Moon, and he can pretty much negate my any spell card that I try to activate that has the effect of special summon a monster. And you know, right here I'm reading to see if what was it? I was trying to see if it targets or anything like that, trying to see if there's any way to be able to play around or through this card. And yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen. As y'all can see, I tossed the Vion because I have another one in hand. We're gonna go ahead and use his effect to send the Shadow Mist, and then we're going to get the Shadow Mist effect. We're gonna use his effect to go ahead and add the Honest Neos so that I can go ahead and attack over that big guy. So now we gonna banish the Shadow Mist to get Vion's effect to add the polymerization here. And I can't remember why he didn't use the Nightmares effect. I think maybe it only flips down monsters that are special summon. Oh no, he can't because of Mud Dragon. So we're gonna go into battle phase, damage step, Honest Neos, attack over the water guy. And you know, as y'all know, this is a OTK deck, so that's not good for business right there. The Nightmare thing has 1950 defense, so I cannot attack over that. with the Mud Dragon. And of course, you know, the Rusty has 2100, so can't do anything about that. Trying to decide what I can do here. We're going to go ahead and activate polymerization here. And trying to decide what I should bring out, if I should bring out the Masquerade Dragon or if I should bring out the Chimera. We're going to go ahead and decide with Chimera here. We're going to bring him out. Chain Link 1, Chimera. Chain Link 2, Dramaturge. And we're going to bring out the Dramaturge, pop both of his monsters, draw one card. It was looked like it was another Valiant, or it was a monster that I can't use, so no spells and other spells and traps here to stop him. He's get the Branded and High Spirits again. Then he's also got the Fog Blade to bring out the Rusty, and then that'll bring out the Torn Scales. And yeah, I was just like, okay, this is pretty much over. It's like the stuff that I effectively cleared off of the board comes back to his hand, and he's gonna start doing danger stuff. And you know, I was hoping that maybe this Dramaturge could negate something that would be effective. He's gonna bring out the Break Sword, and on the Break Sword summon, I'm gonna go ahead and negate the effect of the Rusty, but he's still gonna Break Sword, pop the Chimera. I forget why he is able to pop the Chimera. Does it not target? Might have messed up there, but I can't remember if the Break Sword targets or not, but I probably not, right? That's why he was able to pop it with the Break Sword. So now he's gonna start doing, you know, now he's got the rank 4 stuff, and like I said, he's got the other PK cards off in there. I know he's got the Branded and High Spirits card, and I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop it up there. I just know it's gonna end up being too much, and there's no way for me to, you know, come back from that with the cards that I have in hand. And as I'm sure y'all can tell, the match has been going on for a pretty good long time now. I think like going into game 3, we have a total of about 3 minutes or so left, and yeah, I decided to go first. I sided out a lot of cards, anything that would literally do damage to me. And as you can see, I opened up with, what was it, like double Super Poly and Book of Moon. I get Lightning Stormed, and you know, my other draws were Crow and Honest Neo. So I guess this is, you know, like karma getting back at me for my notoriously drawn hands that I had last week. And yeah, so like I said, we're in time here. He's going to go ahead and kind of start off his plays a little bit, you know, but also keeping an eye on the clock at the same time. And I think here he's going to go ahead and enter. No, he's going to go ahead and do this. I think he might have already like entered the battle phase and attacked with the fusion monster. I'm pretty sure that he did. And then he starts doing, you know, these other plays here. But, you know, it's pretty much like the end of the game. There's nothing that I can do here. You know, even though I go ahead and DD Crow, it does nothing. He's already pretty much attacked. I was hoping that maybe if I DD Crow'd the monster, maybe it would force him to end his turn. Maybe he wouldn't have any other plays, but and then maybe I can sneak in, attack, and get my Honest Neos off. But it doesn't look like that's going to be able to happen. He's just going to start, you know, doing combo stuff with the PK monsters here, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a part of Yu-Gi-Oh! He's filling up the rest of his board. He's gonna go ahead and do Break Sword combo, bring them back as level 4s, bring out the Nightmare, set more back rows, and you know, I do get a turn here with you know, just a couple seconds left. Drew the Branded in red, and that was probably like the worst hand that I've ever drawn, and you know, that'll put an end. That was like the beginning of the end for, you know, the deck right there. It's just like after the rest of throughout the rest of the tournament, it was just like pretty bad. So yeah, I want to say appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next video. Ain't nobody messing with the Masked Hero, king of games. Mask off, now you see that a hero lives. I pay half and you ask, but I'm winning games. There ain't another hero that surpasses me.